the tournament even started, the biggest thing, I just wanted my team to just appreciate every moment that came along with this journey. We've had such a special year, and this tournament is such a hard thing to get to, and can't be told us before the season that it's nothing like you could ever imagine. It's such a special thing. So I wanted to make sure everyone enjoyed and appreciated every moment. And obviously, getting a big win yesterday made that a lot easier to appreciate every moment. And we're already back to work today, preparing for tomorrow.
When Jack says, we're not a Cinderella team, is that the sentiment of the entire team, that you guys are there to win, you guys know you can win, and you guys went out and proved that you can win?
Yeah, I think he said it perfect in the interview yesterday. You can't put that mindset on yourself, going into a game thinking you're lesser than your opponent, because you're, per se, shooting yourself in the foot and giving yourself a disadvantage mentally. And a big part of any sport is the mental strength of your team. So I think having the confidence, having a guy like that instill that in us throughout the whole season, it's gotten us this far, and we know we come in confident and play our best game, play as hard as we can. We're just as good and can compete with anyone in the country, and we proved it yesterday.
You mentioned coach. Not many people get to play for the same coach that their dad has. How wild is that, and how crazy is that story? And seeing your dad with the camera, getting to watch you up and doing his thing while you're doing your thing.
It's a crazy thing, as everyone I feel may have heard about by now. I've grown up around the program and been a part of all the camps and gone to all the games for as long as I can remember. So I always wanted to just be a part of the team, and whatever role that may be, I just wanted to be in an Oakland uniform and be like my dad. So for it to take on the journey to take on a life of its own as it has, and for me to be where I'm at now with this team and how far we've come, it's such a special thing. And like you said, having my dad around the entire journey with me, seeing me grow as a player and a person over my 4 years here at Oakland, it's been so special. And he's obviously been able to capture it, through his lens too. So I'll have these memories forever.
Was Oakland always where you wanted to go growing up and your mom went to school too? Was it always Oakland University?
Yeah, it was a no-brainer. I grew up only about 20, 25 minutes from the campus. Obviously, since they both played there, we grew up my siblings and I going to all the events and the camps and things like that. I never was going to Michigan or Michigan State games. I never had all the Michigan State gear. All my shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies were Oakland gear. So every time people would be debating Michigan or Michigan State, it'd always be the kids going, well, what about Oakland? What about this? So that was the school that I always wanted to go to, and for it to actually happen and happen the way that it has, I couldn't have scripted any better.
When you hear coach say that your dad was his biggest recruit ever, because 40 years later, we're sitting here and talking. What do you think when you hear that?
It's such a crazy thing. It's a crazy story how my dad even ended up at Oakland, being from Anchorage, Alaska. You'd think how did camp recruit someone from Alaska, but he went to a camp, I think, in Indiana with one of his buddies, and Campy just so happened to see him at that camp. So if he never went to that one camp, he probably would have never went to Oakland, and then this whole story, this whole moment would never be happening. So it's just such a special thing, and I'm so grateful that Campy thinks that highly of me, and I've made my last name, I guess, proud, and my family proud. That's really the biggest thing for me, and obviously making this university proud as well. So it's been so special.
Does Jack have another game in him? Is his hand okay after yesterday?
That's what's great about this team, is that any given night anyone can have a crazy game like that. But with the talent that we have, it wouldn't surprise me if he had another game like that. It also wouldn't surprise me if Blake had a game like that, or DQ, or anyone else is capable of doing that. So I know he's eager to get back out there, and he understands that teams are definitely going to be preparing for him even more than they already were. And he's not a selfish guy to be like, oh, I still have to force up shots. Like, he'll know what's best for the team, and if teams are slow to get to him, he'll shoot. If not, he'll share it. But we're ready and excited to go.
You flip the script from Kentucky and it's NC State. They're coming in on a run. What's the key to going in there and getting another W on Saturday?
I think it's just playing the way we have all season. The biggest thing, especially at this time of the year, is to stay consistent to what you've done to get you to this point. They're playing on the biggest stage at all college basketball under the brightest lights. So adrenaline's obviously going to be, going through the roof, and people are going to do some crazy things. So I think the team that sticks to their consistent, game plan and done what they've done to get to this point will come out on top. So I think that's, the biggest thing we've done all year. So I'm confident our coaching staff and our guys are focused and locked in and know that every single team is great in this tournament. So we're not going to take anything lightly, even though we just had a big win yesterday. You got to put that in your back pocket for now, and we can celebrate after a long run in this tournament for sure.
You grew up around Oakland University. There's a lot of people around this country that are learning about Oakland University right now. Tell everybody out there, if they're not familiar with the school, the campus, Tell everybody about Oakland University.
I think the biggest thing I got to say is we're not in California. We're in Southeast Michigan area, and it's surprisingly a big school for what people know about it. So I'm just happy that this run that we're going on is putting the school on the map because, like I said, it's obviously this tournament can change individual people's lives on the team, but it's definitely going to change our university and the future of what can happen basketball wise and the whole university wise with enrollment and all things like that. So it's just special to be a part of that, and like I said, put us on the map and let everyone know we're not from Oakland, California.